Good evening, everyone. Good night. I don't even know what time it is. 10:15. It is. Sorry, thrown right into that. Welcome to the review of the game. Manchester United have just lost 2-0 to Arsenal. Corners have absolutely killed us in that game. I think there's no way for getting away from it. I think for, I don't know how long, 50 minutes, 60 minutes, he was looking at it and he was like, could just be a boring 0-0 draw here. And I think the majority, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think the majority of United fans probably would have taken it, given how we set up, given the application, given the structure and everything. I mean, Sam, how do you defend those corners? Horrible, aren't they?
You need to be better at defending corners, and as we know, United are not great at defending corners, as we've seen. It's a very good corner if they put it right underneath the bar, don't they? Right on top of the goalie, behind the defenders. So it's a very difficult sort of corner to defend in terms of like trying to get rid of it and stuff like that. And they seem to be able to do it every single time, pretty much without fail, which is daunting. So yeah, we've got beaten by, as I've put in the thumbnail, a North London Stoke City, haven't we? We've got Mikel Pulis in the fucking dugout because he's just beating us with set pieces. I was surprised they didn't try and do the Rory Delap long throw. No, he gets the ball with a towel and fucking chuck that in, like, because I thought, apart from the corners, I don't think they had a real opportunity against us. Like, I don't remember an opportunity against us at all. I thought in open play, we more than matched them, and they beat us on 2 corners, which we couldn't defend. That's kind of what happened.
It's like Civir was deep in the group chat then, so I won't ask you to read out the messages that are being conveyed to your phone. But there's a couple of fundamental issues that I've got in my mind, at least. I want to see if you kind of correlate with yours. Throughout that game, what was the things that were sticking out to you at all? Any kind of negatives?
I think the attack. I think we spoke about this the preview about Mason Mount and Hoyland. There was just no attacking intent. The first half we defended really well, kept the ball, we frustrated them, but it just felt like we were waiting for them to score. Like we'll get the ball, but then once it goes into the final third, it's just nothing comes out of it at all. We had one chance in the first half where the ball falls to Dalo, and I think that was literally it for the first half. So yeah, I think that's the only thing. Apart from that, I'm actually looking forward to the FA Cup game now. Like, I'm looking forward.
You're looking forward to it. How are you looking forward to it?
I'm not scared of. Honestly, I'm not scared of these guys anymore. Like, after seeing, apart from the corners, like that was the real threat, and they scored in the second half, and then goals change games. They're at home, the crowd gets going.
They was quiet as fuck as well. I wanted it for a long time. That crowd, they just shut up.
Yeah, they needed the goal. So as soon as they got the goal, they now went crazy and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and then obviously they then had the initiative, in the second half after the goal went in, and their tails were up. But we defended well. If this manager is as good as we all believe he is, he'll take this back and then work on it. And and I think the next time we come to Emirates for the FA Cup game, I think he'll be ready. He'll be ready to go. But apart from that, like, I think for me, it was just it was the attack.
Sam, we was discussing on the pre-match build-up that we felt like it could be more of a performance like we saw Sporting against City, which it felt like that. It was more kind of whoever it was in the wing backs were kind of like Malacia and Dalot felt a bit pushed back. Yeah. Just basically defending in a structural position. Whereas in that City game, I thought the key difference between that and this one was their front three, Trincao, Gyökeres and Goncalves, were much more effective. Every time that ball got played into Højlund, it's just bouncing off him. His first touch is shocking, man. And when you can't hold the ball up, it just kills the full attack, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you can't bring anyone into play.
I think Højlund is the wrong person to be doing that job. I've said it continuously. Like, why are we playing him like a target man and a hold-up play guy? Like, it's just not his game. Like, it's not what he does. He's a channel runner. He's quick. He relies on balls in behind and that kind of stuff. And we were using him like a target man, and we've done it continuously. And then people get on his back, and it's like, it's not his fault. This is not what he's built. It's not why we brought him in. It's not the type of striker he is. So that's what you get. I thought Garnacho was poor. Thought he offered nothing going forward. I just thought that there was nothing there from him. I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did on the pitch. Mason Mount had a frustrating game as well. I thought Bruno really poor as well. I didn't think there was many players that sort of stepped up to the plate, to be honest with you. Like even Mazraoui gave away possession, and he's normally one of our sort of better things. I thought Malacia was okay for the most part, but obviously he's clearly not fixed. He took him off at some point. Positive getting to see Yoro, I suppose. But yeah, there's a lot of sort of stuff like that. But like Chivy, I'm not too upset with it because I think the first half we held our own completely, and we've been undone by 2 corners and the lack of sort of penetration and sort of attacking threat. If we had any of that attacking threat, we might have scored a couple of goals, and the corners may have not mattered. But yeah, that's why we got undone, is 2 corners.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time they got a corner, I was shitting my pants. I was
14
like,
corners.
I just can't.
14 corners they had.
Honestly, it was just like I can't watch. It felt like a penalty because like the delivery is so fucking good from Rice and Saka on either side. It's just I don't know how you stop it as a coach. You look at it and you're like, it's on the money almost every time after time.
Limit.
Yeah, there was one situation where Rashford was in the corner and he goes to chip it up and boot it away and just gives him a corner straight away. And I'm like, I don't actually know if that converted to a goal or not.
That was it. That was a goal. Yeah.
Oh, so you're looking at that, you're like, that's just fucking stupid.
That was Saliba's goal. Yeah.
The biggest strength. There's other things I want to touch on, and there's positive things I want to touch on for sure in terms of individuals. Malacia had a tough 45 minutes, didn't he? I thought, at least. He was okay in certain moments, but I thought at times he was a little bit flaky against Saka, 1v1.
Yeah, but like, I don't think he did as bad as I expected him to do.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't think so. He wasn't like, he wasn't outstanding or anything. But I think he was a bit tidy. He did. Yeah, he wasn't as bad. I thought he'd be a lot worse, to be honest.
I thought he was going to get cooked like on toast. I thought he was going to get destroyed.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. But yeah, I thought he did all right.
It's his second 45 minutes in like what, 17 months or something. So I'm not being harsh on him. I thought, I don't know. I just thought it was times where he was giving him way too much space and not touching tight. But I suppose it's just going to come with time. I thought it was a bold decision by Amarin to play him there in the first place, to be fair.
I think so too. But I think Amarin is just looking towards like fitness of his players, stuff like that. That's why obviously Amad didn't start. And I wish, and for some reason, I just wish we'd attack more from the right than we do on the left. Because the few times we saw Ahmad, he kind of looked threatening. Like he had Zinchenko on toast, almost pulled in, just little things like that. So yeah, I don't think Malacia was that bad.
Yeah.
But it's a good test for him to come back in. Good game for him to come back in.
Doesn't help, Sam, does it though? When you're trying to change a game when it's a little bit stale and a little bit flat, and let's say just before they scored a corner, you look to your subs bench, and on paper the subs bench looks really, really strong. But I actually thought it was embarrassing, some of them when they came on. But Rashford hot and cold, Anthony hot and cold, Xerxes hot and cold. I thought all of them were like pretty terrible when they came on the pitch.
You saw with Anthony especially, that's really smartly worked free kick. And he's in on goal, and you think if he cuts that across a 6-yard box, there's an opportunity there, and he decides to have a shot at Raya, and it's a terrible shot, and you just like, there's the quality lacking there. Like a good winger or a good striker or somebody like that knows what to do in that situation, and he blasts it at Raya, and it's a crap shot. Xerxes, we've seen these sort of performances before, like sort of not really in the game, and he had a really good game against Everton, but wasn't in it this time. And Rashford again, we see it time and time again. Some games he gets a goal and he's not in the game at all, and in other games he just disappears. Just like our whole forward line just isn't working right now. It just isn't. Like there's nobody there. Like we have the odd games where they'll score a goal or they'll look good, and then the next game they'll go missing. And you saw that with all of them. Like just nobody's at the races at the minute, and that's what's killing us in games because, like Chivy said, if we have any sort of attacking threat, we could probably get a couple of goals tonight and might be able to swing it. Because if not for the corners, I thought Arsenal were really poor up front. So yeah. It's frustrating, man.
There's no getting twisted. I've seen in Europe, I've seen Madrid go out with that intention where they'll just stop everything, and then when they do have a counter attacks, they'll play it into a Benzema and they'll have a Vinicius, and they can kill teams straight away. And when you get the goals, it changes the game and the face of the game completely. The issue is we play it into our strikers; they can't hold it. When they get into important areas, they don't make the right decisions. So everything breaks down, and it must be frustrating for the defenders and the midfielders because they start there and they're like, "We're doing everything we can, stopping these guys, nullifying them." But when we do get it to you guys, you're not doing your part of the bargain. You're not doing your job. That's the frustrating part for me. I want to get into the comments before. I want to talk about Bruno Fernandes. I definitely want to talk about Ugarte because I thought he had a really good performance, but we'll park that just for a second. Andy Williams saying, I beg, get me a proven striker. Partha Pratim Basu says, I'm shattered again. Lads, can we have the proper conversation about Rashford? That performance was disgusting. I don't think it was just Marcus, though. I think there was a few of them. Me and my lads call this haram ball. What the fuck was that? Brian saying, Yoro looks solid. We'll discuss his cameo shortly. Luis Gomez, Arsenal were only better at corner kicks. It's a strong comment. Lumen, well done to all our players except Rashford and Bruno. UTFR, Bruno's passing was very poor tonight. We need to stop giving the ball away so easily. Hold that thought, because I'm coming on to it. Koku Kumonze says, Arsenal fan here. Says, mate, Jesus. Is that someone you know?
That's my mate.
Yeah. Arsenal open United up. Havertz chance that on how to save. Trossard to add 1-on-1. If that's all you can name for 90 minutes, though, I mean, you haven't put on a clinic, have you? I think that's the point I'm trying to make.
You're a London Stoke City with Mikel Pulis. Pipe down.
Yeah. Right, let's talk about Bruno Fernandes because we spoke about him in that deeper role. Again, another one hot and cold. I thought he was put there to accommodate for players like Alejandro Garnacho and Mason Mount, who didn't have a great performance themselves. But my God, man, the amount of fucking times he gave the ball away. It was shocking. Absolutely shocking. I implore anyone, if you have the patience to go back and watch that game, watch how many times Bruno gives the ball away. I don't like him in that role. I thought Casemiro, I would have liked to have seen Casemiro and Ugarte in there. I thought that would have been perfect, especially for Casemiro, those one-time passes, hitting it over the back line. Bruno, what do we think, lads? Talk to me.
Do you want to go, Sam? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a surprising performance because this is what he does. Like, he gives the ball away. Apart from that, like
don't tell me you thought he had a good game.
No, he didn't. But you have to give Arsenal credit as well with the way they play. Like, they make it hard for people. They make it hard for players. But playing away, and I think the game changed once we conceded. Like, it completely changed as soon as we conceded. And this is where you need a captain that has, cool mind, a captain that doesn't get flustered, is not as emotional, it's not very reactive.
Odegaard.
This is what happens to This is what happens to Bruno. Like Bruno, look at Odegaard. He has the intensity, but he's not as reckless as Bruno. But Bruno, once his head goes, he just gets reckless. I'm tired of talking about Bruno, when it comes to this sort of thing. But it's one of those ones where I think, I'm hoping that the manager takes everything that he's seen today, and makes adjustments. So, like you were saying, Nick, maybe Ugarte and Casemiro in that midfield, and then maybe Bruno plays as one of the 10s.
Yep.
So then you have, so then there's more attacking intent because we know what happens when Bruno is further up the pitch, and then he doesn't have to make all the decision making and stuff like that. So it's one of those ones. I'm really not that disappointed, to be honest. Like, I know, it's Amorim's first loss and blah blah blah, but
I'm not disappointed. I'm not like sat here saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe we just lost." And we haven't conceded a goal from open play. It's been 2 corners and 2 really good corners, and apart from that, we nullified a lot of them. And a lot of people coming into this, had it been under 10, it would have been 4-0, 5-0. We can see it open, chaotic. Easy. So I get it. I get that side. Absolutely. Now, still with losing, Sam, you can still talk about positives. Yeah. I thought Ugarte, sorry, I was going to go to Yoro then, but I thought Ugarte I don't know if it was just me, but I don't know if it was just I was watching him closely. I thought he was really good, man. He's tackling, he's dropping in the shoulder, the balls in behind, the long balls, keeping it short, keeping it simple. Yeah, impressive, wasn't
he? He's found his way now, hasn't he, in this team? Like the first couple of games, people were already writing him off and saying, "Oh, wasting money, blah blah, shit." And then he's come good in the last sort of 4 or 5 games. I think he's really sort of come to the front, and I think he looks great. And he's brought in to do exactly what you want him to do: break up play, tackle players, get the ball out to the more creative players and stuff like that. Like I said, he's got a better turn of pace. He can drop a shoulder and get rid of people. I think, yeah, I really like him in this team. He's slowly becoming like a solid 7, 8 out of 10, like Mazraoui every week. He's putting in solid performances every week, and I like it. And I hope he only gets better, because I think there's still more to see. Like Chivy said, once Amorim works out like who you can trust in this system, like what's going on, and makes adjustments and stuff like that, he's going to be the focal point and integral part of this, because I think he's been really good again consistently.
Yeah. He had 100% success rate in dribbles and tackles today, Civir. He also completed 91% of his passes, performing beyond expectations.
Yeah. I thought he was one of our better players today, to be honest.
Definitely.
And he didn't seem like rash or anything. Like, it was just a professional performance. Honestly, he didn't seem like he was losing his head, or it just seemed very professional. And more of that, like once we can get some consistency going in the midfield with him, and if it's him and Cass or him and Menu, or even him and Bruno again, like once we can get some consistency, I mean, I think we can only be hopeful. We can only be positive going forward. But I was really, really happy with his performance, really, and I thought the yellow card was a bit stupid. Like,
yeah, it was a couple of them though where when they happened, and I'm like, did you really need to get that there? Like, I thought, like the Maguire one, he got a yellow card for fucking just basically taking the ball off the pitch and booting another one on. And like, did you really? Yeah. You're the central centre back now. They're going to be coming at you. Did you really need to put that pressure on yourself? It was a bit, I don't know. I thought it was strange, but yeah, Ugarte was one of the positives. Lenny Yoro, Sam. Yeah. Was you impressed with his little cameo?
Yeah, I'm glad I finally got to see him, because we've been talking about him for 5 months at this point. Yeah. So yeah, excited. I saw him on the bench. I was like, I hope he gets minutes. Came on, looked solid. Made some really good interceptions, a couple of blocks. Looks like he's got a good pass on him. I think if he continues on and stays fit, I think before the end of the season, he probably nails down one of those centre-back slots permanently, doesn't he? Like, he's probably going to be one of those permanent spots
right-sided,
there. So, yeah,
for sure.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see more of him. Hopefully, he gets a few more appearances next couple of weeks, and he starts sort of like playing into the team.
Despite it being a small cameo, 100% aerial duels won, 86% pass accuracy, 75% ground duels, won 4 tackles, 2 passes into the final third, and 2 clearances for Lenny Yoro in that game. Right, question: who was our best player? Who was their best player? That's from random guy. I'll say Ugarte for us, easily for me, and their best player probably Declan Rice. I'd probably say Saka if you want to put him up there. I thought the other ones didn't really do much. Timber was good as well. Timber was pretty good.
Timber was good. Yeah, they had a few good performances today, but
nobody stood out, did they? In Arsenal, nobody was like,
they're not great to watch.
No,
Arsenal, they're not great to watch at all. Very stodgy. No, they are at times. Like when Ugarte gets it in Saka and they start knocking it about, then they're entertaining and they're exciting. But the whole approach, I think, as a team in general, I don't think they're great to watch.
I think we just sat back and just waited for them to. We're just literally waiting for them to score the whole time. And I think if we're a little bit more threatening going forward, then maybe it would have changed the game. Because even when I remember when Ahmad took Zinchenko to the byline, like they looked shaky every time that he tried to do something. So I think it's one of those ones where once the players get the system fully. And one thing I noticed as well, and I noticed it during the Bodo Glimt game, during the Everton game, the strikers are always looking to make runs, but the defenders and the mid just don't pick up on them. Like there's always space to run in. But when we have the ball, we just don't pick up on it, or we're second guessing, and then the run is gone. It's one of those ones where you have to make like a split-second decision, and this is why Lisandro I would have loved to have him in this game, because he's one of those people that can ping passes from the back, spots runs. He's so, I mean, yeah, he's losing a bit of his defensive, tenacity, but he's still very aware, like in terms of the attacking. And I think if once the players just kind of get a little bit more accustomed to how we play, I think we'll be a threat, a real threat. And I really, really right now, and I really can't wait for the FA Cup return. I really can't wait.
It doesn't surprise me to say that, but it's nice to hear that, because I know a lot of times under Ten Hag, when I'd ask you, you'd be very like, oh, I don't know, man. I think I've given up. Like, I think I'm pretty done. So I suppose it's nice and promising. I think a lot of
because there's something to, like, I kept saying this on Ten Hag, like I just didn't see anything that to believe in. Like I didn't see, there wasn't anything that I could kind of grasp and say, okay, this is what we're trying to do. Like I'll sleep well tonight, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I know we're going places.
We've got 53 people in the chat currently. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 10,000 subs, so if you could take 2 seconds out of your day, click the bottom right-hand corner and hit that subscribe button. Be extremely grateful. And don't forget pros and cons dropping tomorrow as well. We'll go back into the comments to see what you guys are saying. Ugarte is very good, does exactly what we need him to do. That's from UTFR. Harry Maguire first half was the best player. His switches broke their press every time. You're going to see a lot of that in Amarin's system. Connor says Corners FC would have lost. Frustrating. Amarin undone by Corners FC. Arsenal 2-0. I wish we could take a corner like Arsenal. We play a short or don't beat the first man. Yeah, the delivery for us is always just hit the front post, and it. We've stressed about that for years, man, and we still can't seem to address that situation. I genuinely thought we would lose, but in a different way. I thought we would be completely outplayed, but we didn't collapse, excluding the last minutes. I'd like Ahmad in the 10 now that Yoro is playing. Is Ugarte suspended because of the yellow cards? I'm not sure. Is it?
No.
He didn't say it. So. He didn't say it on the broadcast, so I don't believe so.
No, he's not. He's not.
No, I don't think I saw anything about that. There's a couple of comments coming in from Amarin on Arsenal set pieces. We have to understand they have years of doing that. Arsenal can change games like that. We tried to defend them with the space of 2 days to train, but it's hard for every team to defend Arsenal set pieces. We have to work more. It's a defeat. We want to win games, and we will try to do that in the next game. I mean, he's never really going to come out after that and say like and be too negative. You can't be too overly negative about that, at least in my opinion. It's a tough game. We tried to do our game, especially first half. We could be more aggressive, but we need more trainings to reach that area. Keep saying it, don't I? We've seen the rotation in games. You can see he's kind of using this almost as a preseason. We touched on that in the pre-match build-up. And I'd expect even the next game to be like that, like a completely different lineup until we get that rhythm and until we get the ideas across on the pitch. Now, the next 6 games, lads: Forest, Victoria Pleasant, City, Tottenham, Bournemouth, and Wolves, all in kind of a congested area. Are we feeling positive or negative heading into these games?
No. I'm going to the Forest game on Saturday, so I'm hoping for a good performance. Like, I think we can get a result there. Victoria Pleasant on paper again should get a result there. Obviously the City game stands out now that they seem to be back on winning form. Like, they beat Forest 3-0 tonight. Tottenham is a toss-up in it. Like, could go either way, that one. And then Bournemouth is Nick's favourite team, and they're playing really, really well at the minute. Like, they've got a good run going. So yeah, it could be interesting. The first 2, you think results. The other ones, I'm a little bit like, we'll go either way.
Are you the same, Civir?
Yeah, I'm not scared. Honestly, like I'm actually. I think my mind. I've kind of calmed down now. Now that I see what the way we're playing.
He was raging before the Arsenal game. He was fucking furious.
Yeah. I was shitting myself. I wasn't furious. I was just scared. But like, what this will show me is that once we get a little bit of consistency, especially like in the starting 11, because once he understands his first 11, I think we'll be really, really good. And like I said, like I've been the Prem. It's the Europa League that I think we can actually. I think it's a very winnable cup.
Especially if you're putting on defensive performances, I know obviously we lost the game, but it was 2 corners. If you could play like that and get the attack going
if you're not
in the Europa League,
if you're not beating Victoria Pleasant, then you've got no business. You've got no business not winning the Europa League, have you? If you can't beat them, like you've got no business winning it.
I mean, the only other team in this tournament is Spurs. Literally.
And Andy has just said on that, Civir, saying if we play like we did the first half, we beat Tottenham, they hate that style. That's what he just said.
Yeah. Honestly, once we get some consistency going, we'll be good to go. So, I don't care who you are, man. I'm not worried about any of the next fixtures we have. I'm quite happy with what I've seen, and I think it's something we can build on. I think once we just have a realistic expectations of this team right now with the players that we have, none of these guys, apart from Ugarte, none of these guys are the manager's pickings, right? But then you can just imagine if he gets maybe 1 or 2 coming into this team. Yeah,
a wing back,
to go, man.
A wing back or something. I think that.
Yeah, and I think once the players get it, because even if we had like Gyökeres in this team, to be honest, like today we probably wouldn't have even scored. Like it's just once the players understand their the attackers, once they can spot the runs, once they can understand how to exploit the spaces in behind, we'll be good, man. Honestly. But yeah, bring on Arsenal in the FA Cup.
I think that's a bit that's getting clipped up, and then I'll play that at start.
That's what he's sending to all his group chat buddies later. Bring him on.
I have to admit,
honestly, but one thing I don't want to forget this.
No, go for it.
I said this to my Arsenal friends. We always get the last laugh, Man United. Always.
Yeah.
Always. Remember when Ten Hag first came in, and the first 2 games, and everyone was shitting on us and everything. We came third when they came second, and then we won the trophy. And then the next season was our worst ever season. We still won the trophy. Like we always get the last laugh. So yeah, just he who laughs laugh.
Yeah,
laughs best. Yeah.
Have you seen? Was it Patrice Evra? He's saying Arsenal. It's always like a Netflix show. You're just always waiting for the next season to something to happen, and it just never does. It just never happens.
Yeah. We've had a couple of interesting around the Premier League just to kind of finish the show off. Chelsea have won 5-1. City have won 3-0. Villa have won 3-1. Everton have won 4-0. Newcastle and Liverpool 3-3. Fabian Schär scored in the last minute.
I'm happy with that one. I'll take that.
They've dropped points, so yeah. The Premier League table's shaking up again. Liverpool 7 points clear now, just with Chelsea in second, which is madness. City in fourth. It's all to play for, innit? So yeah, had it been for Arsenal, who had more corners than a geometry textbook, we may have got a draw out of that. But,
would we take Chelsea winning the league? That's the best option, isn't it?
Over Liverpool, City, and Arsenal, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the best one, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't want any of them to. I think we can all agree on that as a collective.
Yeah. Like I'd rather none of them, but like Chelsea's probably the best option at this point, isn't it? Like.
Yeah. I think I'd agree with that. Yeah, look, there's been loads of in the chat tonight. Really appreciate every single one of you chipping your opinion in, or even if you've just been watching from a backseat and listening to us talk, it's absolutely fine. If you can, leave a like on the video for us and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock with the pros and cons, where it's a much more deep kind of analytical look at the game, and we can have a proper chat about it once the dust has settled slightly and we've seen kind of a few more quotes come out, etc. But yeah, you'll all be glad to know that Chivy will sleep sound tonight. He's not, down in the dumps after the Chivy derby. So that's pleasing.
We're not gonna have to talk him off a ledge later on tonight. Like he's gonna be all right.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be good, man.
I'll sleep peacefully, man.
Yeah, it's nice to know. Which means I'll sleep peacefully. Yeah, what a wonderful world we live in, eh? Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Me, Chivy, and Sam. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.